Davey Todd, obviously, probably, I guess he may be the favourite. We'll wait to see, but the revs are up and they're away off the line. And we have 6 laps, 25.5 miles, and it should be an absolute cracker.
The Mike Kerruish Plumbing and Heating lightweight race as they head down the bypass, the charge down the bypass into Ballachagan for the first time, where there will be the first braking zone and the first sort out as they flick through the right-hander at Ballachagan to get onto the straight. And here we go, we see them. It does look like Hodson has made the jump. He's away first at the front, and it looks like Todd is right with him on the Malenko bike. So it's Hodson and Todd, the top two men in qualifying, as Paul Jordan maybe slipped back to 4th spot, just on the run into Iron Gate. So Hodson has made the early wave here.
Yeah, and then it's heading off down to Ballinnorris, Joey's Gate as it's called, where they leave the gate open. Is that right for them to, if they don't quite make it? I'm not sure if I want to go through that gate at 160 miles an hour, 150. A bit of smoke there from the front leading bike.
It is Hodson from Davey Todd, from Joe Yeardsley, from Paul Jordan at the front.
That was a close one. It's very, very slowest corner on the course. This one right the way down to first gear. Might slip the clutch out there just a tiny bit.
Andy Smart, one of the newcomers there, particularly held up by the rider in front who had a little bit of an issue. Smart on the Yamaha R7 as they make their way out through the back part of the course, if you like, out through Williams, down through Ballown Dip. Here they go, out through Williams, in fact, and into Ballown Dip. And we'll pick up the leaders as they probably come into cross four-ways next, the next big right-hander that they have on the course. Here we go, it is still Hodson out front. He's just got that little bit of a gap, just a tiny bit of a gap. It won't last long, I wouldn't have thought, between him
Michael
and
Sweeney
Todd.
got it a little bit wrong going into there, but never. Still a puff of smoke out of Rob Hodgson's bike.
Just have to keep an eye on that then. He is the race leader as they head up to Church and filter through Church right out towards those walls on the inside. Hodson from Todd then on this opening lap. Joe Yeardsley going really well into 3rd, and he is ahead of Paul Jordan in 4th as they fly on down through Great Meadow, down onto the run in towards Stadium, which is the next big breaking point. Here they are at Stadium already, and into Castletown corner. Hodson just waving the front of that pattern about a little bit to get the braking done. He goes in.
Barry Ferber through there, number 12, out on there. This is the fastest part of the course where they reach maximum speed, 6th gear all the way down here. Little tiny bit of tailwind with them here, so buried underneath the screen as they go through to finish that first lap.
What can Davey Todd do about Rob Hodson then after this opening lap? It is an 0.8 of a second lead for Hodson over Todd on the two patterns. Then Joe Yeardsley in 3rd, about the same 0.4 of a second down on Todd. Paul Jordan in 4th. 5th to 10th on Michael Sweeney, Barry Ferber, Jamie Williams, Marcus Simpson in 8th, Lewis Arrowsmith 9th, and Paul Cassidy in 10th, as Todd is coming back a little bit at Hodson here on the run down to Iron Gate for the second time. 2 of 6, so plenty of time for Todd just to work out where he can possibly make a little bit of inroads on this Hodson bike. But Hodson, that looks very, very strong, that SMT, notwithstanding the smoke issue that we've seen.
We saw about 3 bikes go down the slip road. There's still a bit of smoke out of that bike. It's only on the overrun, shutting down. I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. But we've lost 1 or 2. In fact, 3 people went up the slip road. So I didn't quite catch who that was, but I'm sure we'll find out very, very shortly.
Joe Yeardsley doing very well, sticking with the front 2 here as well. If Joe Yeardsley could get a podium to start his week, that would be a tremendous way to start the Southern 100 action. And so we have Todd out front. Hodson out front from Todd, and then Yeardsley in 3rd.
4th there is there's Yeardsley and Paul Jordan, Michael Sweeney just behind him. That's the drone, of course. Oh, look at that, sliding it in there. It went and missed the apex a little bit, Todd's through.
It's allowed it, allowed the opportunity, didn't it? And Todd didn't wait twice, he went straight through. So Todd into the lead of this Mike Kerruish Plumbing and Heating lightweight race.
I'm not even sure if he did get the lead, did he? Because they were drag racing down to the next corner. No, he didn't quite get through.
I think he has.
Oh,
I think
he has.
it's Todd
Sorry,
in the lead. Todd leads then on the run down through Great Meadow, but Hodson's not going to give that up with Dewar. Yeardsley then in 3rd is just dropping a little bit off the pace of these two. It looks like Paul Jordan may be one of those men that went up the slip road, because Jordan has slipped back there. He's not showing. I think it was Nico Sweeney and Barry Ferber possibly coming through next. There's Jamie Williams on the NCE machine coming through as well. But it's the battle at the front that we're really interested in here. This has been a great scrap. He just ran wide there, didn't he, Steve?
Yeah.
To cross four ways, and it just presented the opportunity.
It wasn't through a lack of trying to get the bike stopped. It was very, very close as he came through there. That's number 92 there, Jamie Williams. And they're side by side. Look at this, side by side, the fastest part of the course. A little bit of breeze, as I said, Gunnar. Who's going to be the latest on the brakes at Ballackegan?
Out onto lap 3, it is still Todd that holds it at Ballackegan, but Hodson tried to come right up alongside him. He's got another straight to work with here as they come down. If he can just draft Todd on the run down to Iron Gate.
No DRS here. It's all about who can bury themselves underneath the screen, who's got the most horsepower here, and it is side by side. I thought Hodson was going to go down the inside, but he thought better of it. He's going to have a look and see what Todd's got, check out his pace.
He has a chance to do that, yes. So it is Yeardsley, then third. Barry Ferber, we thought, was up to fourth, and then Michael Sweeney in fifth. It is Todd from Hodson, Yeardsley, Ferber, and Sweeney. Then Jamie Williams is up to seventh. Marcus Simpson up to sixth. Sorry, Marcus Simpson in seventh. Lewis Arrowsmith eighth. Paul Cassidy now into the top 10 as well, and Paul Jordan has slipped right the way back down to 10th place. So that's disappointing for Jordan, but he made that little mistake. But it's up at the front that we're really watching this. It's tooth and nail between Todd and Hodson. It's fantastic racing already.
Massively bumpy on the brakes coming into here. The bikes are bottoming out, the front forks are bottoming out, but it's still Todd at the front on the number 1, the Paget's machine there. Clive Paget loves this bike. It gives him a chance to fiddle around and do a bit of tuning. A lot of the classes we've got now, you have to stick to the rules and regulations. There are rules and regulations in this class, but you can change lots of things. Forks, swinging arms, you name it. Still that puff of smoke out of Hodgson's bike.
This is the class where you can do the most work to the machine, isn't it, probably now?
And it actually was supposed to be quite a cheap class, but unfortunately it hasn't ended up that way. It's the old story, you go as fast as your checkbook allows you to, but you can do a lot of modifications, and someone like Clive Paget loves that.
Hodson's just got a chance here to sit behind Todd and just check out where his lines are and just see if there's anywhere that he can obviously see with another 3 laps to come after this lap, just to see if there's a chance somewhere for him to try and have a go. He's had a look on the straights. He hasn't quite got the drag, pattern versus pattern, or so far he hasn't anyway, but is there something he can do in one of the corners? We will wait and see. It's great racing anyway down here at the Southern 100. Todd continues to hold it into Castletown corner once more, and then the run down the straight. Let's see what Hodson can do here, if anything. Yeah,
this is where you're going to get the best tow of the lot. This is, he can sit right behind him and try and get on the inside line as they break down into Ballackegan. But he's close enough to get the slipstream, but Todd is keeping a reasonably tightish line, and I don't suppose he'll leave much of a gap as they go into the braking zone. And the heads will pop up right now, down through the gears, right the way down into second gear.
Todd just drifting very slightly to the right-hand side as he came through the start-finish there, which just would force Hodson around the outside at that point.
Yeah, that's right. Another reasonably long straight here. It's, I don't know, Hodson might be just keeping an eye on things. Of course, there's 2 more laps to go in this race, but he'll just be watching what Todd is up to, working out his every single move, and it's always a better chance to see what's going on. There's another pass there.
We're through half distance then. Todd leads Hodson, but they're right together. There's a 1/10 of a second between them. Joe Yeardsley then is 5 seconds back in third. And then Barry Ferber, who always goes well in this class, is a further 5 seconds behind in fourth. Michael Sweeney in fifth. Jamie Williams, Marcus Simpson, Lewis Arrowsmith and Paul Jordan are 6th to 9th. And then in 10th place, Paul Cassidy. So Jordan has got past Cassidy in terms of that battle for 9th and 10th, but it's the battle at the front that's been raging pretty much since the very start of this race that we want to see it. Oh,
lovely little wheelie over the top there.
Out through Ballown Dip, and it is Todd still leading then. Lap 4 at Cross Four Ways, or the approach to it. It's Todd. Can Hodson do anything on the run into Cross Four Ways? He's right with him. Todd's got this line though, hasn't he? He's got a really good close line. It's going to make it very, very difficult.
He's looking very smooth, I have to say. He really is, Davey Todd. He's been running in the British Superbike Championships. He's finding it quite difficult. I had quite a chat with Davey this morning, and he just says it's the fierceness of the power of the big 1000cc machines he's working on. He hasn't quite worked out all the electronics, but there's no electronics on these bikes, producing just over 100 brake horsepower around that. they'll feel quite tame compared to what he's used to.
They will. And Joe Yearsley on the Scott Racing Aprilia, the Laxey man, he's just going to be able to see them just at the right straights, but they're just a little bit out of way at the moment. Yearsley riding quite a private race on his own, if you like, 5 seconds in front, 5 seconds behind, but he's still on for a podium. As we see Paul Jordan making a further overtake. This time it is on Marcus Simpson. So Jordan is coming back after that overshoot, and it's still Todd leading at the end of lap 4. 2 to go. 2 more laps of chances for Rob Hodson to try and sight out where he could possibly make the move. Just have to maybe back out of that one a little bit there by the looks of it.
He's going to struggle on the brakes, I think. Davey just looks very neat and tidy as he gets on that Aprilia. On that pattern there. Like you say, pattern versus pattern. They look to have very, very similar horsepower. Nothing seems to have an advantage here at the moment. It's spreading out across the track at the moment.
This will be good for Clive just to assess where he's at with the pattern as well, as it's his first year running it. Whereas the SMT team have been running Rob Hodson's bike for the last couple of years. So this will be a good opportunity for Clive just to really assess where he's at with the bike. Yeah,
it does seem as though they come apparently pretty well done. The engine is set to the standards that Patton like to use with that ER6 engine in them. They're tuned to a certain extent, but like all these things, you can only go so far. It's no good to finish first. First you must finish, and you don't want to go blowing the things up, but they're all very, very similar. In fact, this class has got very good now with the Yamaha and the Aprilias and the Kawasaki's all in there.
Top 5 or 6 through. Ballabeg already on lap 5 of 6. Todd leads the way from Hodson. Joe Yearsley in 3rd. Then in 4th is Michael Sweeney. 5th, Barry Thurber. Then 6th now, and back up to 6th is Paul Jordan. Then Marcus Simpson in 7th. Jamie Williams 8th. Lewis Arrowsmith 9th. And rounding out the top 10,
this is the
Paul
biggest
Cassidy.
Gap.
It is. He's just opened that up a little bit on the run into cross four-ways on this penultimate lap.
I'm just wondering if Rob Hodson had a bit of an issue with the braking again, but he's pulled it back again. But coming out of that tight Ballabeg hairpin, there's no question about it that Davey Todd had pulled out 4 or 5 bike lengths.
He had the elastic closes on coming into the cornering and then opens again as they run up towards Church. But it does look like Hodson is just coming a little bit closer. But as you say, 4 or 5 bike lengths. Todd has this now. He's just got to keep a good line as he makes his way out through the end of lap 5 of 6. Just 1 to go as they cross the stripe this time, and they're on the way down through Great Meadow into Stadium and then Castletown Corner. Here comes Yearsley in 3rd. Back at the front, Todd has
closed him back.
Yeah, I think he has, hasn't he? The braking he's got him. I don't think he's quite close enough to do anything on the run down through the start finish and on into Ballachagan this time. He's been closer on previous laps, and there is the last lap flag on this Mike Kerruish Plumbing and Heating lightweight race, the opening race of the Southern 100 2025.
4.25 miles to go, and we have a look at this. Didn't quite see where Hodson lost that time, but I think it was right down.
Oh, he's right with him again now. Right with them as they head off down Ballachagan, straight down towards Iron Gate. Is he close enough to do anything, though? That's the question. He hasn't been right since that overtake in the opening laps.
The place to do it, though, is going to be Great Meadows into Stadium or somewhere down towards the end, because I don't believe Davey Todd, if he gets past, won't have another go back at him. The Castletown Corner would be the best place because there's no chance after that, but nevertheless we'll wait to see.
Joe Yearsley continuing to hold 3rd, Mikko Sweeney in 4th, then Barry Thurber and Paul Jordan rounding out the top 6 with Marcus Simpson, Jamie Williams, Lewis Arrowsmith and Paul Cassidy in the rest of the top 10. Well, we're down now to a couple of miles to go in this race. Hodson has closed right back into Todd. What can he do?
We haven't heard the 2-stroke, unfortunately. 53 goes through there. That was Ben Rainbow, newcomer. We wait.
We do. We wait to see pictures of Todd and Hodson at the front. They should be on the run down towards Castletown Corner by now. You would have. Oh, in fact, here they are across four ways. Oh, Todd's gone wide and handed it back. Oh.
Absolutely has, completely, because now Rob Hodson has 4 or 5 bike lengths again. It looked like Davey Todd outbraked himself going into there.
Exactly the same, but flip it and mirror it, and now that's handed it back to Hodson on the run down through Great Meadow, and you don't think Todd is going to be able to do anything about that. He's just too far back. He'd lost too much time with that mini overshoot at cross four ways. He was trying, though.
Yeah, absolutely he was. He really just left things a little bit too late, couldn't get the bike stopped, and it did look like they were going to collide at one point.
We do not want that. So we've got Yeardsley as well being closed into by Michael Sweeney, who's coming on strong right at the end of this race, which is going to be good, throwing it forward into the rest of the week and tomorrow's second race. As they come out of Castletown Corner, Rob Hodson is going to take the flag, gets the checkered flag. Rob Hodson wins the Mike Kerruish Plumbing and Heating lightweight race from Davey Todd. It all came down to cross four ways on that final lap.
Yeah, doesn't get much better. Fastest lap, he's the lap record holder, I believe, for this particular race. And this is the battle to the line. And it is, of course, Joe Yeardsley that just gets that third position.
That's a brilliant podium for Joe on the Scott Racing Aprilia from Michael Sweeney on the MSR Aprilia as well. The battle of the two Aprilias there. So Patton's 1-2, Aprilia's 3-4.